Hey everybody. Hi, Sean. How are you? Thank you for joining. Let me just give you a little wave right there. Okay, so we have Saru is here. Okay, can everyone hear me? Hello, hello. We are so frigging excited. The day has come, Saru. We've been waiting for this
Yes.
day. Thank you so much for everyone that's joining. Thank you, Playwrights Canada Press. We see you and we thank you for being a partner with us on this. And thank you for the play donations. We really appreciate you. And we can't wait to start giving away plays from Canada. This is day one. This is day one, and couldn't be more excited. So I'm Samelia. Everyone calls me Sim, so feel free to call me Sim. And Saru.
Yes, I'm Saru. I'm Saru Zai, but everybody calls me Saru, and I do answer to it all the time, so that works. But yeah, we're so excited. Yay, hooray! Canada Press. I'm really excited as well to give away the plays, man. This is so exciting. Sim and I love this work, and we are so excited to share it with all you all. So thank you for joining us. It's exciting.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. This has been a long time coming. Been working on Beyond the Canon for I go to say 2016, but to be honest with you, it was a lot earlier than that. I was already doing this work way before that point. And I have a lot of people to thank for that. I first started my exploration was really when I was in South Africa, believe it or not. And that's where I met Kwame. I was working on 2 plays out there. I was sent out there by the Young Vic. And it was Bolahan and myself that was sent. We were both on the director trajectory at the time. And yeah, it was, I was looking for so many plays. And in South Africa, I really struggled to find a lot of plays in print at the time. But that's where I met Kwame. And he had this brilliant idea to do the Black Play Archive at the National Theatre, and he headhunted me for the job. And it was probably well, not probably, it was the most sort of defining experience I've ever had in my life. It was such a significant experience, but we can talk about that later, yo. I'm seeing a lot more people joining. So yeah, so hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello. Hello,
This is
hello.
Saru.
Hi.
Saru
Hi,
with me.
everybody. Hi. Thank you so much for joining. We're very excited. We're very excited. I mean, like, obviously, when I met Sim, she was already well on her journey by the time I met her. And I guess, Sim, you are to me what Kwame was to you. Um, like, it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me. I met Samilia, and she introduced me to this incredible world full of these incredible works. And yeah, I haven't looked back since. It's been really exciting being part of Beyond the Canon. And I think we're at our best when we are sharing these works with everybody else. So this is a great opportunity for us to sort of just expand people's knowledge of this work, and also just kind of build on what you know. We're very much open to anything you want to know. So please be posting questions if you've got any. We will definitely share whatever it is that we do know. And then we're
Yeah.
giving away plays. When Tim and I first started talking about what we wanted to be doing during this period, one of the things that we were very clear about is that we wanted to be able to enrich the lives of students. We wanted to also make sure that they didn't really lose on something simply because their curriculum had been sort of cut short by the whole COVID-19 crisis. And we wanted to still be able to share a lot of what we would be doing if everything was normal and if drama schools were open. And, you know, so we reached out to publishing houses to see if they were willing to kind of donate these plays. And yes, they were. And that was so phenomenal. And we then thought, you know what, there's no reason for us to not be doing this. And we got onto it like ASAP. So thank you so much for joining, guys. Honestly, we appreciate you.
Yeah, like Saru says, you know, when you explore plays, and there's other people that have explored plays as well, and it's been great to be in contact with a lot of the archivists. So I really, really appreciate all of those who have helped me on my journey as well to discover plays. This is not something that you just encounter by yourself. Like, lean on each other, and that's what we're doing. This is our way to give back. This is our way, especially at this time, where we've always empowered our Black communities, and this is an extension of that. At this moment, I really want to just say how much, obviously, through through the work we've done beyond the Canon and Black Lives, Black Words, which you learn about in our next episode. But I really want to take this time to just show our solidarity to the Black Lives Matter movement. And all of the victims of police brutality. We are with you, we stand with you, and we cry with you. We're there on the journey, and this is our way of giving back. This is our way of staying connected with the many, many communities, and it's also our way to encourage people to place value on us, place value on our lives, place value on our talents. And so we are just super, super excited to reach this stage where we can give back in this way. So yeah, so Saru, have you got questions for me?
Yes, so what we're going to be doing, guys, is that we're going to be having playwrights that are going to be joining us week on week as we go along. But today we thought, since it's going to be the very, very first one, I thought it would be a really, really great opportunity for us to get to know Sim a bit better. Sim's knowledge of this archive or this canon is honestly, I think, second to none. It's so phenomenal how much she knows, and I thought it would be a really great opportunity for us to sort of kind of delve deep into why she started doing this work, as well as what work she has been doing, and obviously maybe get the end of that South African story, which would be really great. And also, since today's giveaway is the Monologue anthologies by Similia, we thought it would be a great opportunity to sort of also look into how she put that together. And also, I mean, honestly, she must have come across so many works. How did she pick those particular plays? So maybe let's start there, Sim. What was your journey from putting together the Black Play Archive to actually putting together your Monologue anthologies?
You know what? I always start with a provocation with all of the work that I do. I think provocations are key. So the provocations that I had for the first monologue book, which are these ones, and this was directly after I had just wrapped up working at the National Theatre on the Black Play Archive. And then I had access to all of these plays, and I recognized that I was in such a unique position where I had the chance for over 2 years to sit, read, discover plays, and also to direct some as well as audio recordings. So for me, it was really important for me to share that knowledge. But the publication I had was, how many Black British plays can you name? And so I went around and I delivered workshops in some drama schools as well as schools. And for me, it became more and more apparent that this work, as we knew already, but has gone for decades unnoticed. So what the trend was is that, you know, a play that was written by a Black playwright would be produced once and once only, and then it would be put on the shelves, and then that would collect dust, And then the second issue was around publishing and how much of our work was being published. So there was a lot of things that a lot of hurdles there. But I really loved engaging with people young and old to talk about the work. But that wasn't enough. I really wanted to place the work in the hands of actors and directors and everybody else. And that's why I decided to start a monologue anthology. It was the very first one I'd ever done. I've never done any books in my life. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too, okay? But it was the first time, and for me, I actually set a publication within a publication, because I recognized that everybody felt that, oh, we just arrived. You know, this work, we didn't have a rich legacy. And actually we do, we have such a rich legacy. And I was always quite sort of taken back or quite frustrated at the idea of a classic. And the classic are always sort of white European plays. And, you know, when we think about a classic, we always think about like Shakespeare, for instance. And I wanted to disrupt that. I wanted to disrupt that thinking. So if you see in these books, I've actually sectioned them. So the first part is classics, and then the second part is contemporary plays. And I did that really, really deliberately to say, if you're not going to name us as a classic, I will. So that's really how these plays come about. But for me, it was really important that we paid homage to those that had gone before us, the shoulders that we stand on. And I really wanted to recognize those works. So it was great to come across Moon on the Rainbow Shore by Errol John and Skivers by Barrow Record, and, you know, some of the earlier works. And also, you know, people talk about Alfred Fragan and other, you know, playwrights like that, but how many of them have read their work? How many of them have engaged with their writing? And for me, it was a really great opportunity for me to say, hey, check out this monologue from Smile Orange by Trevor Rohn, you know, as well as obviously the plays that I had encountered in theatres. It was great to include those two.
What about the journey to get to the plays? I mean, how hard or how difficult was it for you to actually find these works? Or was it kind of like, oh, they've always just been there, nobody was just talking about them?
Oh my goodness. So the first one, so I'm going to stay with the first collection. So these ones, now let me tell you, we have to really remember that it's a recent trend for people to start archiving. Thank God for the V&A and for others who had been archiving our work. However, theatres, they easily discarded the work. I mean, no one was really holding on to these plays as gems like I was. I was like, whenever I discovered a play, got my hands on something that was out of print or was never printed, I was so, so excited, right? And so for me, it was quite a tiresome task to contact actors and say, hey, you know that play that you performed in like the 70s? Do you happen to have a script under your bed or in your loft? So that was, you know, there was really really wasn't rocket science. I had to contact everybody and anybody to ask whether they had some of these plays, and thank God some people still had them in their loft. Some people still, you know, some agents were still alive as well for them to say, look, no, we've got copies, like, here you go, Sam, please take them. And for me, it begged the question, who owns our legacy? Who really owns our legacy, and how can we increase the ownership when it comes to those who are within our own communities? Like, we should know of this work. So yeah, so this one, thank God for the Black Play Archive, because a lot of research, you will see it in these books. This collection was outside. It was after I'd done that first collection. I'd left the National Theatre, and I wanted to deepen my knowledge of plays, and also I wanted to incorporate a lot more communities, right? I wanted to ensure that it was a lot more comprehensive. This was definitely sort of focused on Black British plays. This one, however, I managed to get a little bit of funding to a travel grant, and I went around, I went across America. And I'm so happy that I did. And I spoke to people, word got around, and the news spread that I was looking for contemporary plays. And so by international artists, and my publication for these books is Who Can Write for Who? And that was a difficult publication for me, right? Because it's easy for us to set publications that we feel comfortable, we feel like we know the answer to, or but that publication actually made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, because obviously we know there's a lack of opportunities for writers of different ethnicities, and you know, it was really interesting for me to hear from both white, Black, Middle Eastern, Asian playwrights in terms of who they felt that they could write for. And unshockingly, a lot of white writers felt they could write for anyone. And that wasn't necessarily the same when it came to other playwrights from different ethnicities. So that was really interesting. Or there was a lot more, what can I say? There's a lot more sensitivity around it when it was from those who were non-white playwrights writing for writing parts for other races. And so that for me was really interesting. I wanted to delve a bit deeper into that, to be honest with you. But these plays really came through that research that I carried out, and it was just incredible for me to sort of widen my understanding of plays. I learned so much from the Middle Eastern plays, because I had never really encountered them before, if I'm being honest. So that was amazing. I'd already worked for a South Asian company beforehand, Kali Theatre Company, so I already knew of quite a lot of South Asian playwrights. But it was, yeah, I love both books, but they both just tell such a different journey, and I really appreciate everybody who contributed to both books and allowed me to include them in these anthologies, so thank you.
What was the play that you were, like, out of both your books, so like the play that you were most excited to find, or even maybe one that you didn't think you'd find at all, one that you kind of thought, oh my God, I can't believe this is it, your Eureka play?
Honestly speaking, all of them, man. Like, it's really hard through. Like, this is when people say to me,
and I'm asking you to pick one of your babies.
I absolutely love all of them. I mean, they would not be in the book if I didn't love them. I absolutely love and I admire the writers so much for you know, for traveling, taking the journey that they have taken to write these particular plays. I mean, people don't realize the research that goes into them. People put their lives at risk, or they expose so much of themselves in these plays, and that's what they are. Sometimes they're journals. They're journals into the lives of that particular playwright, or people that they know, or people that they've encountered, right? So it's just absolutely, I don't know what play. It's really hard. I don't even know what play, but I would say like Tamam by Betty Schmier. Like, that play is, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your name correctly, but that play is absolutely amazing, and that's in the Monologue book for women. And I would also say, oh goodness, there's just so many. You know, Let Me Say Something Dark. If you haven't read that, you need to read it. It's an amazing play about an adoption story, about his adoption story. Yeah, there's just so many remarkable plays. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't even know where to begin in terms of naming.
I feel like I've just like mind-boggled you. But one of the questions we've been asking the writers that are going to be guest speakers for our little webisodes is to ask. Well, I was always going to ask you this, but yeah, one of the questions we've been asking them is if they can choose 3 different plays that they wish that they had read prior to them entering this particular industry. I mean, what are yours?
And the funny thing is, as much as I've set that question for everybody else, like, You know what? I would say, I would have said for colored girls who've considered suicide when a rainbow is enough. But if I'm honest, I read that play before. I read that play earlier on. It was given to me by Rebecca Pitcher. So shout out to Rebecca. And many people might not know this, but I started off as an actor and we started in Fair Game, and it was her play, her brilliant play, and she gave me like 7 plays, and she doesn't realize that actually that was a real significant and a moment in my life when she gave me for colored girls. But it's so hard. Okay, I would say Trouble in Mind by Alice Childress. Yeah. Now this play, oh my goodness, I'm always kicking myself because I came across this play so damn late, and I wish I would have come across it earlier. It is an exceptional play. It's set in like 1950s, 1955 in New York, and it's about a Black actress, right, who's been out of work for about 20 years, something like that, and she basically gets cast to play the sort of the main female part in this Broadway show. But as you're in the rehearsal room, Alice is such a master at just the pen, and she takes us through this journey. She exposes what the industry is like. She exposes the stereotypes, the discrimination, the racism, and this Black female trying to navigate through this process. If you're a Black actress, I would say you have to read that play. You have to read it. Anyway, let me move on because I'm getting so into my feelings of that one. I would also say Moon on the Rainbow Shore. Like, I am Trini. I'm half Trinidadian and I'm half Jamaican, right? And I celebrate all of myself. And, this is, it's written by Errol John. He's a Trinidadian. You can see, I have to big up my Trini self. And it's just a really play. It's dealing with, in terms of, I believe it's like post-war. Anyway, it's amazing. Just read it. I'm not going to ramble on. But it's an incredible play. And in fact, fun fact, I was actually responsible for the revival of that play because I brought it to the attention of the National Theatre, and then they did a revival of it. So I'm so super proud about that. And I encourage everyone to read Moon on a Rainbow Shore by Errol John. And then last but not least, now this is where it gets really hard because who? I would say, toss up. This is a toss up between like anything written by Debbie Tucker Green. Let's be real about that. Debbie is a genius. Okay, Debbie is just one of like the best. I don't know how she writes. I don't know what part of the brain that she uses, but she is just, anything she touches is gold. Anything. And so just read any of her work. Please just read it. Just read it. But Generations, oh my gosh. Yes. Like, really? I remember because it just blows your mind. And there's one thing reading it, and then there's another thing seeing the production of it. You really get to see her genius just goes up like several hundred notches. Like, she is absolutely incredible. Anyway, anything by Debbie. Obviously, I've got to big up Kwame's Statement of Regret. It's a fantastic play. If you haven't read it, please read it. We're going to be giving out Kwame's anthology later on in other episodes, so stay tuned for that. And I'm saying so many, but I have to say Bull Rusher. Anita Davis. Fun fact, she's actually, I believe, the niece of Angela Davis. But yeah, so definitely check her out. And that's a brilliant play around loving yourself, as a Black female, loving yourself. So more than free, but hey.
It's actually quite lovely. It's lovely to kind of see you geek out about these plays. And it only just proves just how they can impact your entire life and your existence and just completely change the direction of how you want to live. And it's important, obviously, because I know you, and I know it's important for you to sort of share this with the students and with other people generally, with the people that we work with. So when you first started kind of approaching people with these works, I mean, what was that like? And also, what was it like when you were seeing how it was received, not received, the roadblocks you were coming across or not coming across? I mean, generally, what was that particular journey of all the hard work of you putting these works together?
Oh gosh. I mean, it was difficult because let me use this as an example. So after leaving the National Theatre, after working on the Black Play Archive, I designed a course which was called Diversity in Plays and Monologues. I don't know if anybody knows about this. And that course, I actually went to Central School of Speech and Drama, and Central School of Speech and Drama, they gave me a room. And they allowed me to facilitate this course for a week. Oh no, have I lost the room?
No.
Oh no. Oh, I can't see you anymore.
That is really weird. I don't know why.
There you go, you're back now. You're back now. And basically, and this was a turning point again, another turning point. I was doing the course in the school, but it was like in the back room, and it felt, it felt like I was in the back of the bus, put it that way. It felt like I was sort of in this room, and none of the teachers engaged with the work. None of the teachers came in, or if they did, they kind of just peeked their head in and they left. And I really felt that, when I set up Beyond the Canon, and one of my stipulations for Beyond the Canon showcases, and please let me know if you've ever come to a Beyond the Canon showcase. We've done them now 3 times at RADA. We've done it at East 15. Please let me know in the comments below how you feel about them. But, one of the stipulations was that this was going to be in the main space. This was going to be in the main theatre, and that the school had to really stand behind it. They had to promote it, and they had to attend, and they had to engage with the showcase. I was no longer prepared to do this in the back room, and I really made a stand about that, because that's what's happened. That's what's happened for decades, right? Our work is not seen as important. It's not, and this is something that I came from a realization that I had to set the terms, and this is something that I do with ADF and everything else that I work on. It's really important for us to set the terms, because otherwise our work will end up in the back room.
No, it's very true. I mean, obviously, having worked at Beyond the Canon with you, it always strikes me how difficult it is to have conversations about kind of putting our work forward, and how these conversations never really go the way that you would expect them to go, considering that we believe the work to be so essential and so necessary, which is why we pour so much of ourselves into it. And the roadblocks sometimes that you meet are always heartbreaking, to say the least, especially when you're speaking to the people who you engage with, and they also are kind of thirsty for it as well. They're eager to get involved, except it's not really made available to them so readily.
And it's also about the value, I think it's really important. I think many people don't know, and I've been talking to other people who've set up initiatives, and another thing that I'm really dedicated to, not only the work, but us being paid to do the work, and us being paid fairly. What tends to happen is that our work is seen as something that we should just do for free, because we love our community so much, and we do love our community so much, but don't exploit us. And so I think that it's really, really important that we stand up for ourselves, that we stand up for others. Everything I do, I'm thinking already about the generations coming up behind me. And if I can make that crack in the door, or crack in the ceiling, however you want to phrase it, then that actually is about how we can promote and how we can encourage these institutions to act differently, think differently, do differently. There's no point saying that you are supportive of the work if you're either putting us in the back room, you're not attending, you are not paying what you should be paying for it, and that you are constantly trying to negotiate a cheaper deal. Like, that happens all the time. And also, people saying, hey, Sim, like, institutions, can you just give me some plays? Just tell me what it is. So I have to then go back into the archive and find a play that you think that's suitable for you. And that's work. Like, that's a service. you
No, but
know.
the thing as well is that it's not even just the beginning of the work. I mean, if I kind of go back, especially for those who've just joined us as well, if we go back to Sim's journey of how she put together these plays, she was calling actors and asking them about plays that they were in the 70s and whether they had scripts under the bed, and you traveled. I mean, honestly, the amount of work that has been done in order for you to build the knowledge that you already have needs to be acknowledged from that point rather than from right now where they're saying, well, I just met you, so tell me about a play that I can put in my theater, or tell me a production that can benefit our students. And it's about acknowledging that work as well, you know. And I think that's part of the deal with ownership, with us kind of taking ownership of these works and saying, you know what, this is our work, this is our legacy, this is something we've worked very hard to sort of make sure is preserved to this point. You can't just have it. You definitely can't. You can't just do that. And also about the students and the community also taking ownership of that as well and demanding it, to say, if you want us to be kind of enriched by these works, get them for us. We need them. They have to be part of our narrative.
That reminds me, one of the saddest things I've ever heard is I've heard a lot of people say things to me, and there's a few comments that have stayed with me because they have really upset me, if I'm honest. And those comments are, I had this one director that came to me and said, can you, I don't know why they came to me, because wait for it. So they said to me, you know, can you recommend a play, right? Can you recommend a play? I want to direct a play. I said, okay, fine. And I started talking. They said, oh, no. I feel like I need to actually do a white play in order to advance my career.
Wow.
And I was like, you're talking to the wrong one. And I had to do a little bit of thinking at that point, right? Because I think if we don't value, again, it's about the value, or the value that we're not placing on our own work. We have to value our work. We have to value the talent that exists, because guess what? There are a lot of people, especially a lot of white directors, that have made such a name for themselves and such a profile through directing Black plays. And let's be real about that too. So I really want to ask, I think that they should always be done, but I think that we should take ownership. That's what we're talking about here. We're taking ownership of the work.
So Quincy is asking whether the emphasis should be put on the institutions to change, or is there anything a Black creative can do?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think that what we're saying is, like, build your home libraries. This is why we're giving out these plays, because we're saying, look, we want you to have these plays accessible to you, right? So I think that, you know, getting more knowledgeable about the plays that exist out there is key. Talking about them, sharing them, doing them as monologues, like forcing the industry to read. If they don't know that monologue, then they need to read the monologue. They need to read the whole play, sorry. They need to read where it's come from. I think that institutions have got a lot to do, because I think there was a level of complacency where they only knew about certain plays and not of other plays. And actually it means for them to go back and to see themselves as students, and to see that they have to educate themselves on the plays that they do not know. And so, yeah, I think it's both. I think it's both, but we need to champion each other. We need to champion the work. The same way we're doing here, like, everyone can do it in their own way. So that's what we're encouraging right now, you know.
Yeah, and to be bold, be fearless. You know, it's kind of like what Sim was saying, to say that, you know, somebody saying to her, I need to do a white work in order to advance my career. What does that even mean? What you need to be doing, what you need to be focusing on is great work. Now, if you've got great work, be it an incredible Black play or incredible Middle Eastern play, Asian play, whatever it is that you find that is truly remarkable, your career will be just fine. You know, you need to be able to take ownership of that and run with it. Nobody's going to look at an incredibly remarkable, enriching story and be like, that was terrible. No, bring yourself into that particular piece of work. And if you're an incredible creative, which I'm sure you are, then, especially if your taste level is this good, then there's no reason why you should be worried about putting that foot forward first. But yeah, I think so anyway.
But to your point, Saru, in terms of what institutions, and this is a really small thing, but it shows that, you know, I think that we need the big things, and we also need the small things as well. Is, you know, just in terms of getting, you know, what you were saying, experiencing like drama schools, you know, not retweeting us, you know, and this is part of the problem. You know, they have to start getting behind. They have to start advocating for the change that they really want to see in their schools.
No, it's very true. It's very true. I was incredibly disappointed. So, like, we're giving away these plays. We have literally given of our time, our energy, our effort, you know, and these incredible publishing houses have given of their actual stock. And we are literally saying, this is for you, take it. And we reached out to so many schools, so many drama schools, to say, listen, all you need to do is just tell your students that this is something that's happening. We're giving this away. We just want to expand their knowledge base and maybe build their libraries. And the response has been kind of a bit meh, you know, and that in itself is incredibly telling. It means that the effort that we are putting towards trying to create something that facilitates for your teaching, your institution to be better for it, is still something that we have to force feed you and convince you. And it can be quite exhausting. That being said, Sim, do you ever get tired of the good fights?
You know,
it can always sound quite easy, though, isn't it?
Honestly, yes. You know, I'd be lying to say that you don't get tired. Hello, everybody. I can see my mum's here as well, so big up my mum. You know, honestly, yes. But the work has to get done, and I'd rather it be us doing it than anybody else, to be honest with you. So yeah, it does get tiring. I can't lie about that. But it's tiring not because of the work. It's tiring because of the obstacles that are put in your way, right? So so sometimes, you know, it's just the levels of negotiation, and this is what people can't see. But you know what? What makes it so much better was when I see, you know, when I see the RADA showcase, and I see all of those students, and the way that they perform their monologues is just so beautiful, and they're just so in their moment, and it's their piece of activism, and it's just so just thrilling and energizing and uplifting to see. So for me, it's that overrides everything. You know, I think that's why we're doing it. We're doing it not for, and I make it really clear, this is not for institutions. This is for the community. Like, I'm all about the people, and I'm all about trying to empower communities. I want them to leave any institution feeling not how I felt, right? I wasn't exposed to any work within my university. You know, I brought For Coloured Girls to the institution and did it as my last piece, because we were allowed to do anything, direct anything, and that was the piece that I directed at drama school. But it was definitely a piece of activism. It's definitely my way of saying we're here, we exist, you know. So for me, and to read about the BME students report that Central did, and to hear that students are having similar experiences today, I'm like, come on, something really does need to shift. But that's the reason why we're here, is intervention. We're here to provide a platform. We're here to educate, and we're here to celebrate everyone at drama school, not at drama school. You know, and we're here to also broker the relationship between our professional artistic communities with those in education. That's why we exist. So,
and it's very true. That is probably one of the most exciting things, is that we are trying to have these conversations with as many playwrights as possible. So we are going to try and make sure that you do kind of get to hear from them, that you kind of get to see what their journeys are, their experiences, how they started out and how they are now, and whether their perspective has shifted at all. And, you know, also as playwrights, I'm sure they also have people they admire as well, that also uplift and kind of motivate them to keep going. I'm similar to Sim. I always feel educated, like really rejuvenated after and beyond the Canon showcase. It's always exciting to sort of see how enthusiastic just the audience is, just how enthusiastic the students are when we are having them in our rooms, in our workshops, or even the directors who work on it. I mean, I crush on all of the directors we ever work with, and it's really kind of great as well to facilitate a space where, Black, Asian, Middle Eastern directors are working with their counterparts in student form as well, and seeing what they can create and put together and then share with their community as well. And it's always just, it leaves you smitten.
Did you say as well that for every showcase, we always cast from Artistic Directors of the Future, which is my other company. And so all the directors are from culturally diverse backgrounds. And so, yeah, it's we're bringing communities together. So that I love that. So should we give away some? Should we give away some books?
Give away the plays.
I thought we should have some music or something going on as well. Like, hey.
What, Sim, is your beatboxing not on point?
How are we going to do this now? So so this is specifically for students. Actually, before we give any books away, there is a discount code for these books, which are, these ones are published by Bloomsbury, Matthew and Drama. You should be able to see down there, there's a discount code, it's BTC 2020. You can get 30% off if you go to bloomsbury.com. And that's for print, and it's 45% off if you go for the ebook. These are only available in print, but you have to go to the Oberon website. So that's also in the pin. So do check them out. If you don't win, you still get a little discount. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. So first and foremost, we're going to give away. Should we do that? Let's do it in order. So we're going to give away these ones first. So I'm a bit scared of this, but I'm going to say goodbye to Saru because we're going to bring in somebody. So if you are a student, this is for students at any age, and you would like to win the full collection of the first monologue books, is the Oberon book of monologues for Black actors, classical and contemporary speeches from Black British plays. If you want to win both the male and the female, what we do is that we encourage, it doesn't matter what gender you are, we encourage you to actually use both. These works can be read by anybody, performed by anybody. So these are the first ones we're going to be giving away. So if you are interested in winning, if you're a student, please request to join live and I will bring you in. All right, Saru, let's see if anybody...
I'm out. Later. You'll be okay, Sam. Bye.
All right, I'm going to join Saru shortly. Thanks, Saru. Okay, let's see who is around. How am I going to know who's a student? And this is going to be interesting. Could you just write in the comments below if you are a student so that I know who's a student, or if you... Oh, okay. I've got here Poppy. Is that right? Okay, I'm adding Poppy. Poppy's just come up. Where are my students at?
Oh my God, hi.
Hey, Poppy, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
Thank you so much for this.
Oh, I appreciate it. Oh, you know what? This is something that we've been wanting to do for quite a long time, Poppy, to be honest with you. Is your name Poppy? I hope I'm not calling you
Poppy. Yeah, that's right.
It's some name that is on your on your Instagram.
Okay.
So, Poppy, what school are you at right now?
I'm at Birkbeck, studying on the directing course.
Oh, okay, so of course. Have you engaged with any work so far that we would call from the Beyond the Canon?
As part of the course, good question. I mean, they've left the plays that we study are kind of left pretty open, so we kind of get to choose those ourselves. I did do a placement at RADA, and I was assisting Ricky Beadle Blair. So I was
Right.
lucky enough to see the Beyond the Canon the year just gone, and work with him, and he just has such high, amazing things to say about you guys. In terms sorry, I'm blabbering, but in terms of plays I've read recently, I've got a collection of plays by Kofi Kwahule, and I've been going through those recently, and just incredible, and just amazing that a lot of he's not a very well-known name here in the UK, and I just think his work is beautiful.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and thank you for coming in. You're going to win the collection of thoughts. So Saru will be in touch with you. So Saru, make sure you write down Poppy's name, but do DM us, and so these will be sent to you.
Great, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
Lovely, thank you so much. Thank you, and please help us to spread the word, Poppy. We appreciate you.
I will do. Thanks, Sim.
Take care. Bye. Okay, that's one collection gone. Okay. Wow, it's so much fun talking to people. I love this. I know that we're all, well, kind of partially in lockdown, but it feels really lovely to connect with people. It really, really does. So I am now, can we like put your hand up if you're a student? I just want to see how many students we've got in this live at the moment. I can see Saru said, I've got you, Poppy. Hello. It's gone a bit quiet. Have you got any other students up in here? Free? How come I can't see anything? Here. Reggie's telling me that I've got, how many other students? I can't see anybody. Yes, yeah, that can be considered a student. Yes, for sure. We'll let that slide. Is that Martin? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna give away this collection now. Okay, so this is the second collection that we're giving away. So if you are a student and you would like to win, this is the second monologue anthology that I put together. If you would like to get your hands on this copy of this collection, sorry. Oh, we've got somebody. Okay, let's go. I've just added. They were real quick.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I've been eating.
Don't worry about that, darling. Do not worry. We're all, you know what? I would have food here with me if I could, right? But I'm just so like, I'm gonna have to wait.
Thank you. I'm not worried about stuff my teeth.
You're fine. Look, you look fine. To me, you look absolutely adorable. So,
Hi.
is it Martin? Am I saying your name right?
Oh, it's my surname. Yeah, my name's Lindsay.
Lindsay. Okay. Thank you so much, Lindsay. What school? What? You're from the Soho Writers.
Yeah, I'm on the Soho Writers course this year.
And how's it going?
I mean, it's good, but I've got to hand in a second draft in 2 weeks. So.
Okay, that's what that would look. I didn't know how to read the look. I was like, are you saying that you're not feeling the course?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. It's amazing. It's like, if there are any writers out there, like apply. It's not super expensive, and it also sometimes help with like bursaries and stuff, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm so happy to have a writer join, right? We've had a director and now we've had a writer, and this just really fills me up because it's important that people see that actually as writers, you have to know about all of the plays, right? You need to know what's gone before you so that you can write new stories or adaptations, you know. So how many plays have you come up against before? I mean, what's your what does your library look like? Have you come across a lot of plays by Black, South Asian, Middle Eastern, Latinx writers?
Oh my gosh, have I? I mean, I think I seek them out. So whenever I watch something, I feel like everything's like lost in my head now. But like, was it Taking Leave that was at the Bush Theatre?
Leave Taken by Winston Pinnock.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll always like buy the play afterwards, and she was there, and it was like, you know, amazing. And I feel like everything's like, so why am I so nervous?
I don't be nervous. You know what? You should have seen me before I went live. I was nervous too, so don't worry, don't worry. I think there's something about being live where you're like, okay, I'm a bit self-paranoid, like, you know, I'm a bit self-conscious, sorry. But you look absolutely fine. You're doing amazingly. You're doing amazingly.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And obviously, like, Debbie Tucker Green is like one of my favorites. I'm trying to think of my bookshelf. So I've had to move during lockdown, so all my books are right in the shed, really annoyingly.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't put these ones in your shed, okay, Lindsay?
No, no, because I've moved. Like, they're safe, but like, so the only plays I've got with me at the moment. Oh my gosh, look right here, Girls. I've been reading Girls. Yeah.
Girls. Oh,
I love
fantastic.
that.
We're actually going to be giving that play away as well on that other episode.
It's such a good play. I recommend that to everyone. I'm reading Sam Potter's Hannah at the moment, which is like about this isn't a spoiler, like a lady that has a child, and then she finds out that it's not her child, but that's not a Black writer. But that's what I'm reading.
That's great. That's what I'm hoping is that, like, with actually, say your name loud and proud so people can look out for you. If you're already writing a play, we're looking forward to seeing this play on. So we'll just say your name again, just your full name.
It's Lindsay Martinstein.
So remember that name, guys. Lindsay Martinstein. So remember that name. So I'm so excited, and I hope that you make the most out of this. This is Monologue Books. We are going to be giving away play anthologies and single play text as well. So please come back and join us and get your hands on some of those too.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for what you're doing. It's so appreciated.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And we appreciate you. You know, you're adding to the canon. So hopefully when I do some more of these, I can be adding your work too.
I hope so.
You will. So we'll make it happen. But look, thank you so much. Please again help us spread the word. And let us know when you've got them. When they've arrived, you can just take a little picture and share it on our wall. That would be amazing. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Saru, make sure she gets these, okay? All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your meal. Right,
thank you. Bye.
Oh my goodness. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. I don't know if we've got any more students in the place, but let me just add Saru real quick. This is and I'm back. You get a play. You get a play.
You get a play. You get a play. Everybody gets a play. Guys, remember what Sim said. If you're not managing to get any of the free copies, there is a discount. We're going to be putting it on our website, www.beyondthecanon.com. If you check in Sim's top shelf, you'll be able to see all the discounts that are available at you. And I should also say that Canada Press has got a 25% discount on their entire stock on their website. So if you could please also go onto their website. I will be posting a link for all of these things on our Instagram afterwards. We want you guys to get as many plays as possible. These discounts are amazing. So please definitely take advantage of them.
Yeah, so we can't wait to meet up with you guys next week. This has been so much fun. Thank you.
So much fun.
There's so many more plays to give away. we're going to be running this on a weekly basis every Wednesday, exactly the same time. Please help us spread the word. It's really important that we give these plays away to students or those on courses so that they have access to this material. And yeah, just help us spread the word, guys. Like, we really, really appreciate you. Enjoy your books, Poppy and Lindsay.
Yes, Poppy. Yes, Lindsay. I will definitely be in touch with you guys. So I'm gonna DM you. I'm gonna DM you just so that we can get your details over, and then they'll be in the post. I love giving things away.
Until next week, we've got another anthology to give away next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. All right?
Definitely. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Bye.
Be safe. All right, take care.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye.
Bye.